Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV, where I am your host, Drew Collins, bringing you all sports-related news here in the greater Cincinnati area. If you are new around here, make sure you join the family by hitting the subscribe button, leaving a like to show your support, and share with your friends and the rest of Houday Nation. In today's stream/video, we are getting into my preview and prediction of the Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington football team here in Week 11. So I'm just going to be going over my preview, my prediction of how I think this game could turn out, and how I think that this is a very winnable game for the Cincinnati Bengals. Can you fix that, please? Thank you. Just try to set it up there where it's stable, if you could. So if you haven't already, if you're new around here, if you're watching this post-production or live, like I said, join the DCTV family. We are on our way and very close to 2K already here on DCTV. And then if you're Houday Nation, spam up that like button and get active in the comment section as well. So let me get going here live on Facebook, and we'll hop until today's stream, guys. What are we saying? What's up, Night Wolves? Kenyon 12, what's up? What's up, John Lee? Ooga Booga, what's up, man? Krazi, Houday, my friend. What happened? The tax physical, he failed it, so I believe he's going to be waived, or he was already waived. Are we doing call-ins tonight? Yeah, we could do some call-ins, possibly. I remember you, John. Houday, my friend. I think we could definitely do some call-ins. So that's what you guys are interested in. Turn it this way. Ooh, it's a little bright. And that's the... Ooh. That's not... If you face it more like... that way. Face it like towards the jersey. Not my face. Or towards my face. Sorry, guys. If you didn't know, I just got a new webcam, so the quality should be 1080 or 1080. So it's the best besides 4K. So HD quality. I might look a little ghostly right now because I'm trying to fix. I'm trying to fix how I look, the lighting and stuff. So bear with me. I'm so ready for tomorrow. Yes, man. Krause, I'm so ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is such a winnable game for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's not even funny. I have high expectations going into this game. Definitely one of the highest expectations I've had in a few weeks here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Wasn't expected to win against the Steelers. Wasn't expected to win against the Titans. And now we face a team that has just as many wins as we do. And I believe we are way more talented than they are. So... high expectations going in tomorrow, and you're going to see that in my preview and prediction heading into the game. So, let me get going here live on Facebook real quick, guys, and we'll hop into the things. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and comment your preview and predictions for tomorrow's game. Player stats, score stat, or what your score prediction, player stats, game stats. Let me know in the comment section so I know what you guys are thinking as well. So, ooh, whoops, that should be blocking. There we go. All right, so we got that going. Man. I'm so ready for tomorrow. Sorry about that. All right. I think we're live on Facebook too. So all my Facebook people coming in live, make sure you like the stream on Facebook, comment as well, and get active. So let's get into it. So what are we saying in the chat? Is Mixon playing John Leadon? He is not. Joe Mixon was finally put on IR, which I've been waiting to happen for the past few weeks. So that means he will not be playing for at least the next 3 weeks. He'll be out for the next 3 weeks, so Giovanni Bernard will be the next running back for probably the next month. I've been awaiting that for a while. I really didn't understand how the Bengals kind of downplayed his injury. It was kind of frustrating for many Bengals fans. Like, oh, he might be coming back this week. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's almost ready. He, play, day by day. And it wasn't true. He ends up going on a 3-week IR. So it tells me that he wasn't really nearly ready to come back. So it's pretty frustrating. I was expecting this to happen, weeks ago, a month ago when the injury first happened. I was like, okay, they'll put him on a 3-week IR and hopefully comes back after that. No. And now he's out for 3 more weeks. So Joe Mixon's going to be out for at least probably another month. So Giovanni Bernard will get the start again. And P. Ryan, the backup running back, will probably see more of him again. He definitely had a couple snaps, garbage time snaps against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see what happens there. Dang, that sucks. We need him back in our lineup. He's such an elusive back. Yeah, that's why we paid him. We paid him to be a top 10 running back in the league, and we need him to play like a top 10 running back in the league. And when you are without him, I think it's really shown how one-sided our offense has been. I feel like our offense has been very one-dimensional without Mixon on the field. So a little upsetting with that. I do agree. Alshon Moore says Washington 30-20-17. Washington a win, and this D-line will cook ya. So it looks like we got some Washington fans in here. Keep that same energy in the stream tomorrow. I'll be live noon, and I will be live for the entire play-by-play for the game tomorrow. So make sure you have that same energy tomorrow. We talking about offense? Yes. We'll talk about offense, defense, coaching, injuries, predictions, play predictions, team predictions. So we'll get into that in just a second. Houday, what's our biggest threat from Washington? Houday Stewart's good seeing you on the streams as always, my friend. I think the biggest threat for Washington, I'd probably say it has to come from the defensive side of the ball and getting after Joe Burrow, possibly turning the ball over. I think that's probably one of the bigger threats for Washington. I don't want to downplay their quarterback play, but they do have a one-legged Alex Smith. One human leg, one robot leg. But he did just come off like a 350-yard performance last week. So don't want to downplay him. I do believe that was kind of just an energy game. They were playing a team with a really bad secondary. I realize we have a bad secondary too, but I feel like it was just an energy game. That was his first career start after 2 years of being out with one of the most horrific injuries in the NFL history. Comes back, has over slices and dices, and gets over 350 yards. So I kind of feel like that was a fairy tale game. I don't think we'll see that this week. I do see him have some success. And I know he likes checking down to the running backs, I believe. I'm pretty sure he is a check down guy, so we'll have to watch that. Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson is the biggest threats. Yeah, Terry McLaurin, he has some wheels. He's pretty good. Antonio Gibson has some good hands as well. I do agree with that. Good luck. Looking forward to Sunday football. Yeah, man. You already know we'll be live tomorrow starting at noon and live for the entire game. So you do not want to miss out. They are a lot of freaking fun. Last week against the Steelers, there were over 8,000 people in the stream. 8,000 people were in that stream a week ago. So don't miss out. It's a lot of fun. William Jackson's going to get burned by Scary Terry. We will see. Yeah, he's going to have he just came off didn't play terrible, but he did get burned a few times last week, so we'll have to see. Houday Nation better pull up to that stream tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm trying to think, for you Washington fans that might be here, what are you? Just Washington Football Nation? WFT? Usually like Houday Nation and like Bengals Nation. I don't know. I'm trying to use hashtags in my videos to get clicks and stuff. And I don't know if there is anything for Washington right now. So any Washington fans in here, let me know. Terry has burned every corner. Okay, we'll see. I think T. Higgins is set up to have a gigantic game this weekend with AJ and Boyd taking the number 1 and 2 corners and letting T feast on the CB3. Also, I think Altain could get for the same reason. And our run will probably be shut down. Some more targets for T and T. I agree, Ubua. Last stream was the best. Appreciate that, John. Yeah, who day, my friend. Yeah, last stream was my best stream statistically. But yeah, it was a little insane. And it would have been so much more fun if it was competitive. Most of the people that were coming in stream were just Steelers fans trying to trash the stream, but it was still fun like always. Anyways, so let's get into the swing of things. We'll start with Washington since we're Cincinnati. We'll save best for last. Let's start with Washington. We'll start with Washington offense. So like I said, Alex Smith will get his second start of the season after having a fantastic game last week. Like I said, I do believe it was a little bit of a fairy tale game. Not saying that was luck. He's very talented. Before the injury, he was a great quarterback. He still is a good quarterback. He just really can't get out the pocket and run or do much, improvising wise. So, with that being said, they are 2-7. Points for, they have 180 points. That's 29 out of 32nd, 20 per game. So obviously that offense, one of the worst in the league. Points against, 218. That's 14 around 32. So around middle of the pack defensively. So put that in perspective. Getting into their injuries, correct me if I'm wrong. Looks like Antonio Gibson has a shoulder injury. Washington fans, let me know the final roster update for you guys tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be one tomorrow morning, as always. This is not what I want. So Alex Smith, obviously 68% completion percentage. I don't like this. I just get NFL.com. Thank you. That's what I wanted. All right. So the big thing with Washington is that they are still in this division. You hear so much talk with Dallas, Philadelphia, and even the Giants as of recent. And I feel so bad for this Washington fan base because as a Cincinnati Bengals, I feel like we can relate a little. By the meanings of there's so many, well-known, what am I trying to say? Nationwide teams, the Steelers, the Ravens, etc. And you hear so much about the, Cowboys. They're 2-7, but still have a chance. The Giants, they're 3-7, still have a chance. Philadelphia Eagles, 3-5-1. Washington football team, this team still has a chance to make the playoffs at 2-7. They are one loss behind the Philadelphia Eagles, who are atop the division. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there for all you Washington fans. And it looks like Antonio Gibson is going to be good to go. Cool. Okay. So I guess first things first, yeah, like I said, quarterback position, Alex Smith. I'm not too phased about him. Like I said, he did come off a fairy tale game. He's a good quarterback. He makes smart plays. He makes smart decisions. So I think the biggest thing is, once again, will this Cincinnati Bengals defensive front bring that pressure? Something we've been very lackluster of all season. Guys like Sam Hubbard, Carl Lawson, can these guys get into the backfield and cause some QB pressures and send that blitz and see if they can get back there and work this offensive line for Washington? I don't think their offense line is too great. So I think we got to see some pressure, and I'm really looking forward to see if Carl Lawson get a sack. And when we get to my predictions, that's going to come up again. Moving on to the rushing game, Antonio Gibson is a guy a lot of people are calling for to have a big week. I try not to get too caught up in the national media because that's something I just try to stay away from, and I try to keep realistic and 100% my own thoughts compared to the national media. But a lot of people are calling for Antonio Gibson to have a big week. He only has 436 rushing yards this entire season so far, 103 carries, and 7 touchdowns, which is pretty well. So we'll have to see what kind of, what could they do if they try to come out run heavy, go off the play action off that, try to make it easy on Alex Smith, or if they come out gunslinging. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I haven't watched much of Washington football not just somebody I like watching. I turn on the screen so far this year. Going to be honest with you guys. So I don't know the kind of formations they are running this year with Alex Smith. I know last week they were really slinging that rock at the end of that game. So it's going to be interesting maybe if that's what they come out and try to do here. But we'll have to see. And John Lee says, I haven't heard much about what do you know about Atkins. I didn't see anything about Atkins on the injury report for this week, but I do know he didn't play last week because he had his newborn child who was 5 or 4 weeks early, so really scary situation. I know he'll be back in the lineup this week, and it's going to be interesting if his snaps continue to grow, if he's feeling better and more healthy. So I do think Geno Atkins, I say it week in and week out, I think this will be the week. We really need him this week because a lot of people are calling Antonio Gibson to have a big game, and to help, stop that or slow him down a little bit would be huge to have Geno Atkins stuff in that gut. Now, receiving-wise for Washington, one player we have to watch is definitely Scary Terry. I believe that's what they're calling him nowadays. He is fantastic. Obviously, out of the University of Ohio State, we all know that. Ohio State kid, 6 foot 210, 57 receptions, 787 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's had a very good season. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if we can keep up with them. Outside of him, I'm going to be quite honest, I'm not too impressed with this receiving core. Outside of him, there's no one that really scares me or anything. So outside of him, I think we'll be good. I think this is definitely one of the weaker targeted teams that we've played all season long. Easy. When you play, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns twice with all the weapons we face, this is definitely the weaker rosters we've played all season. And you Washington fans might get upset with me on that, but you would understand if you have the Steelers, Ravens, and Cowboys all in your division. And yes, like Ashawn Moore said in the comment section, watch out for Cam Sims. I've also seen a lot of people calling for him, especially fantasy people, saying that he might get some looks this week. Looking at his stats for the year, 11 receptions, 225 yards. So I'd be really surprised this guy only having 11 receptions the entire year come this week and pop off against us. But he's 6'5", 190, completely massive. I'd like to see him and Auden Tate stand next to each other. Out of Alabama, hasn't done too much this year, but it'd be interesting to see if he could change that this week. I'm just gonna be quite honest. Seeing the teams we've played so far and the roster and the talent they have on that roster, this roster doesn't faze me at all. So defensively, I honestly am gonna stay positive. And after having such a bad week and a sad week against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, I honestly think our defense will turn it around this week, and this could possibly be our best defensive week all season long. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. I know we've been through a lot of injuries. On the defensive side, we're okay. We're still dealing with some guys, but we're okay. And I think this is the week where our defense can hold a team under 20 points, 21 points, 24 points max for this Washington football team. And even it's sad saying that because we still might give up 24 points against this offense. I know they're red hot last week, so odds are against that. But talent-wise, man, this is really a game where we can have our game-changing players. Jesse Bates, the best safety in the NFL, and others step up. So moving on to the Washington defense, where I definitely think a lot of their star power is going to be a lot of fun. And a lot of people that aren't Washington fans or Bengals fans will be talking about the number 1 pick versus the number 2 pick. We all know that's going to be a huge topic tomorrow, which it should be. It very well should be. So give me 1 second. This defense, once again, it's good. The front 7 can get some pressure on you. They can turn the ball over a little bit. They have a good amount of forced fumbles, which is something I want to see us do. We got to protect the football, rushing and receiving. T. Higgins are coming off a week where he fumbled last week. Giovanni Bernard and P. Ryan are going to have to hold on to the ball this week in the backfield. They force the ball over. They get turnovers. So that's something we're going to have to take care of the ball for. Guys like Chase Young, who has 3.5 sacks on the year, and 5.5 tackles for losses, that's somebody we're going to have to watch. John Bostic, Jonathan Allen, Curl, Payne, Montez Sweat. These are all guys who have a lot of sacks. Ryan Kerrigan, Tim Settle. These guys have way more sacks than we do. way more sacks than we do. So they get to the quarterback. That front seven can get in there. So, don't sleep on this front seven. That's why I'm saying as long as we can protect Burrow and take care of the ball, there should be no problem. I don't think the secondary is anything crazy. Nothing warns me on, nothing stands out. Landon Collins is a good ball player, a good veteran guy. Darby is pretty good too. But it's just, protecting this guy. Obviously, they have Kendall Fuller. But outside of that, if you can protect Burrow and buy him some time up front, I'm really not too fazed from this defense. And that's why I'm saying I think the Cincinnati Bengals actually match up well against this Washington football team. Not many times this year will I say, okay, this. Okay, we match up well. Like the Titans. The Titans are a team that have a very weak front seven, so I thought that definitely helped us. Obviously, this has a good front seven, but it's obviously, if we can protect Burrow decent enough and game plan around it to get the ball out of his hands, to get short passes, every now and then try to hit that deep shot, I think this is a very beatable team. So, and for you Washington fans, talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, we'll start with the offense. The offense, you already heard enough of Joe Burrow. I'm not going to talk his ear off. I will tomorrow, and I probably will be wearing his jersey. Nonetheless, he's going to have a good game tomorrow. I'm really feeling it. The guy is coming off not necessarily on him. There were some tic-tac, throws he missed. Not necessarily on him, but he's coming off a big loss in his first divisional game against the Bengals Steelers. And he's a very resilient guy, and that's why he's always been so good, because how resilient he is. All the way back to college, he's made resilient plays and moves. When Ohio State said, no, you're not going to be our starter. And then, schools like Alabama were saying, hey, we'll take you, but you're going to be third string. And he just faced so much adversity and always overcame it, and that's what he's going to continuously do in the NFL. And I just feel like he's going to have a bounce-back big game this week. I think a big question mark for the Bengals tomorrow is the rushing game. This is a good front seven. I think we might struggle a little bit up front getting the ball to Giovanni Bernard. Last week, getting the ball to Giovanni Bernard, it wasn't there. It was not there. P. Ryan had a couple decent runs behind him as well, but the rushing attack was so poor last week. And it also stinks because we got so far behind, we couldn't just rush the ball all day. We couldn't just sit there and hand it off. We have to get points on the board quick, and how do you do that? You throw the ball to stop the clock. So, excuse me, but yeah, I think the rushing attack, we got to get Giovanni Bernard going a little bit, and not these HB draw, HB pitch. We got to get creative. Zach Taylor, the plays got stale last week again, but the previous weeks before that, play calling was pretty well. He's pulling some tricks out the hat. He was doing good. He looked like a magician out there. Some good signs the past few weeks outside that Pittsburgh game. We need to see more of that. No more stale plays. We got to see the ball, creative runs, no HB draws, no toss, no readable plays, because Giovanni Bernard, as much as we love the mustache man, he's not Joe Mixon. You can't just call every play and Joe Mixon's going to break a few tackles and gain some yards. That's not Giovanni Bernard. A positive about the rushing game is, the rushing to the receiving game, get Giovanni Bernard active in the receiving game. Giovanni Bernard is a great receiving back. We need to create some, I'm sure Zach Taylor's going to have some HB draws, some HB screens, and plays set up to him where, he's going to have one man, two man, not there, pass it to Bernard. We saw that a lot against the Titans game where Burrow would look, nothing, dump it off to Bernard. Bernard would break off to a first down. And we need to see that because, Burrow's going to be under a lot of pressure on some of these plays. And what do? You're going to dump it off to your running back. Giovanni Bernard's a great receiving back. He did phenomenal against the Titans and other games previous in the year, so I really look out for that Washington fans. Receiving-wise, T. Higgins has been a beast. Tyler Boyd has been a beast. But where's A.J. Green? We'll have to see if this is the game he'll show up. I've said it. Besides 1 or 2 games this season, he hasn't showed up at all this season. Still waiting for him. I don't know where he is. I expect Tyler Boyd to do his thing. I expect T. Higgins to do this thing. That's just what they do because they're great ball players. A.J. Green, we'll have to see. I haven't been impressed with him at all this year. And I think a big guy, I know somebody in the comment section brought him up, is Auden Tate. Auden Tate is another play to look for. These past few weeks, he's continuously upping his reps. He's increasingly getting more reps. He's getting more targets. So look out for Auden Tate. This is definitely one of the weaker secondaries. If he gets in there in the red zone, I really expect an Auden Tate touchdown tomorrow, and that's going to be in my predictions. So look out for that tomorrow. Should we fire our coach? I think we stick with Zach Taylor for now. I think in the offseason we definitely look for a new defensive coordinator. This is not a home game. This will be in Washington tomorrow. Okay, moving on from receivers. Oh, also Drew Sample. CJ Uzomah is out for the season, our starting tight end. So we have former second round pick Drew Sample in. The first 2 weeks, he got the ball. The past 2 weeks, I haven't seen him. So, will we see Drew Sample tomorrow? I don't know. Defense. Something I'm actually excited to talk about. I don't think there's been many times this year, if times at all, where I've been excited to talk about our defense. And I'm actually getting some goosebumps because I think our defense will perform really well tomorrow. I don't know what it is. I just think this could be one of our better games for our defense. Starting off with our D-line. Like I said, Alex Smith is not an improvising quarterback. He's going to stay in the pocket, and he's going to make smart plays. What does that mean? You got to get the pressure on him, and you got to force him to get uncomfortable within that pocket. So how do you do that? Pressure. I really, really hope we get a good game plan to get some pressure on him and maybe some sacks. Some sackles. We haven't seen much of it in 2020 at all. We got to get Sam Hubbard involved. We got to get Carl Lawson. If Geno is up that gut, slow down the rushing attack because we don't want them running all over us like the Cleveland Browns did a couple weeks ago. But, yeah. Definitely got to get those dogs up front ready. Now that goes to the linebackers as well. Especially, expect guy like Akeem Davis Gathers to get up there in some blitzes. In the past few weeks, I've definitely seen him get a lot of tackle for losses. He's done a great job on that. And Logan Wilson, let's get Logan Wilson in there as well. I want to see these guys, Jermaine Pratt, all these linebackers. They're gonna have to get involved tomorrow. Anyways, moving on from that, our secondary. I don't want to speak within too much of our secondary because I don't want to talk all this and tomorrow you're like, DC, what happened? You said our secondary was going to perform. Alex Smith has 250 yards. What did you tell us, DC? I'm not telling you that, but I'm telling you receiver-wise, this is definitely probably the least talented receiver core we've gone up against all season. That's what I'm going to say. And a quarterback who, besides last week, hasn't been anything great since his injury. So that's what I will say. The odds of him having another magical week like he did a week ago are very, very slim. But you never know. We have such a shaky corner at our corner depth with injuries and the next man up. They've been so shaky, and at least once a game, I'll say 2 or 3 times a game do we give up a big play downfield because it's man-to-man coverage and our guy just gets cooked. I don't know if there's anybody on that Washington team that's going to step up tomorrow and make up that big play. But yeah, I definitely think that. Can't wait until tomorrow. Me too, Nightwolves. I'm so excited. Mike Zimmer is defensive coach next season? No way in hell. I love Mike Zim, but he's not going to leave Minnesota to come to Cincinnati and be a defensive coordinator. I wish. Not happening, though. Defense definitely got some experience last week. They were on the field all game, and that's 100% right, Stuart. And that's a big thing going into this thing. I think Zach Taylor learned his lesson last week. I think he realized how much he just messed up the defense. I think he realized how much his offensive play calling really affected our defense. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, our defense lost us the game. Oh, our defense sucks." Yes, I know they gave up almost 40 points, but that was because our offense was 3 and out, and our defense was fatigue. These guys were exhausted. And as a matter of fact, our special teams was horrible, so they were always on midfield to start the drive. And you can't do that against an undefeated team. So as much as everyone wore out our defense, yeah, our defense wasn't great. I agree with you on that. But our offense was 3 and out. every time, and our defense was exhausted. I mean, you got to think, we were down defensive linemen. We were down corners. When you're down guys and you're playing practice squad players, your best bet is to not have them on the field very often. And that's why I'm saying on the offense side of the ball, it's very important we get our rushing game going, because if we get our rushing game going, we won't have to worry about the defense being on the field that often. Thank you, Ashley Reynolds, for joining the DCTV family. If you want to be just like Ashley and have that GIF pop up on the screen, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 2K, and we are very, very close. So hit that like button if you guys haven't already, if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And make sure you hit that sub button, too, and join the DCTV family and Houday Nation. Hashtag DC for DC, that's right. The Bengals defense is awful. Geno Atkins is, only pass rusher, and only have a safety and a corner and a linebacker are terrible. So, classic people who don't know, haven't done much research. Our defense is not good, I will agree with you. But we have playmakers, and our defensive coordinator is really what's worse. But the game planning was what killed us last week, rather than our defensive talent. Who do you suggest, Drew Collins? That's right. All right. Moving on from that, I will say this. Defensively, we're going to get a turnover tomorrow. At least one, maybe two. So let's get into my predictions. Team predictions. Or player predictions. We'll start with the offense for the Bengals. I think Burrow will have 250, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers again. No turnovers last week. I think that continues this week. That's my goal. And like I said, this Washington team, that Washington defense turns the ball over. They have a ton of forced fumbles, and I don't know how they're doing interception-wise, but they really can get that ball out. They can punch it out. So it would be huge if Burrow has no turnovers. So first one's Burrow 250 and 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Second, I'm going to guess... I don't know if I want to guess Giovanni Bernard for a big rushing game tomorrow, just because I know it was more garbage time rushing last week, but we saw quite a bit of Pirine, and he didn't look too bad. I understand, wasn't probably the starting front seven for the Steelers, and they're up 30 points, so they're probably not going 110%. But when he played, he didn't look bad. He showed a good amount of acceleration and a lot of power as well. So I'm not too sure if I want to, I don't know if they're going to split snaps this week. And for anybody that has Giovanni Bernard in fantasy, I'd be cautious because, like I said, he very well could get 90% of the snaps. But after last week, I'm not too sure. So be cautious with that. I will put a bet on Alden Tate. I do think Alden Tate will get a receiving touchdown tomorrow. And I know I've said this a couple times this year, but there's no reason we shouldn't look at his way in the red zone this game. He's 6'4", 6'5". He'll be the biggest guy on the field, the strongest guy on the field. No one's going to outmuscle him in the end zone. Going outside of Alden Tate, another guy. T. Higgins had a great game last week, but I think I'm going to go to Boyd, Mr. Reliable. He's going to get his back-to-back 1K yard season, and I think he wraps up for 100 yards and a touchdown. And I will do one more. I'll do our offensive line. Our offensive line as a group will have, I guessed 4 or less sacks last week, and I think there was 4. So I'm going to guess they improve by 1 and give up 3 or less. And that's realistic. This is a good front 7 by Washington. They send the blitz. They're going to get after Burrow. They're going to try to force the ball out. So I think if our O-line gets 3 or less sacks, I will be okay with that. What are your guys' thoughts and what are your guys' predictions for our offensive players? Let me know. Let me know what your predictions are for the offense. And vice versa, for you Washington fans, what are your thoughts for your guys' offense? And like LT just posted a link to our Discord. It's the 513 Sports Discord. All we do is talk Cincinnati Bengals and Reds Cincinnati Bengals football and Reds baseball. All we do is talk Cincinnati sports all day long. So if you're interested in that, definitely join it. It's totally free, and there's over, I think, 60 people now, so it's a lot of fun. I hope I'll be able to get enough sleep because I'm about to be thinking about the game all night. I know I would be too, but I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta have the stream up by noon, and I gotta stream for 5 hours straight. So I'm definitely gonna try to get some sleep, and you should too. Our line been playing good. The O line's been improving. It's been improving. So, all right. So I'll move on to our defense now. Defensively, I think our D line gets at least 2 sacks. I think two sacks is realistic. We haven't got many sacks all season long. I'm sure we're at least bottom 10 in the entire NFL when it comes to getting after the quarterback and wrapping up. So I think 2 sacks is pretty fair, pretty even. So if I had to guess who were to get involved, I would guess Lawson. And if Atkins, I want to put one on Atkins. I'm going to put one on Atkins. I just hope I hope he has more than just a sample size of playing time. Okay. I think we see a Logan Wilson turnover. I'm feeling a Logan Wilson turnover. He already has 2 interceptions. I feel like we see a forced fumble or another interception or something from Logan Wilson. We got to see more. I want to say another great game or turnover by Jesse Bates, but it's like every week that happens, so it's almost too predictable. Every week I say Jesse Bates interception or Jesse Bates fourth fumble or Jesse Bates big game, and he's the number 1 ranked Pro Football Focus safety in the league, so it's like almost unfair if I say that at this point, just because something's always happened. So I'm gonna go with his partner in crime, Von Bell. I'm not gonna say anything happens. I'm just gonna say big game. Big game by Von Bell tomorrow. So look out for that. So offense and defense, there you go. That's my prediction. And I don't know if I want to rock the Burrow or Bates jersey tomorrow. I think I'm leaning more towards Burrow. I think I'm leaning more towards the Burrow jersey. What are we thinking in the chat? Stuart says, I like your take. I'm hoping for Burrow to really pass and get 300 plus. Yeah. And you might. I think we'll definitely have to see how this game plays out. If we get out, I want to say he could have 250, 300 plus, but at the same time, I hope Zach Taylor learned his lesson and saw how quickly we give up the ball and how that hurts our defense. So I think he saw that and realized, oh man, maybe we need to run the ball a little bit more or, be a little bit more effective in play calling. So also think about that because that's also in the back of my head as well. EA only gave T. Higgins a 71 overall. I know, man. I don't even keep up with the Madden overalls. They're so rigged within just different teams. Like the same player on the Chiefs would be so much higher. If T. Higgins was on the Chiefs, he'd probably be an 85 overall. But because he's on the Bengals, he'll be a 75. So I don't even mess with EA like that. Like the fact that's so disrespectful. We need Von Bell to get his revenge. Yeah, and Von Bell's been pretty well. He played well last week and the week before or the 2 weeks before against the Titans. So Von Bell's been good. Will I be able to call in? Yeah, I can take a call in here in a couple minutes. Is Von Bell good? Yeah. Use that, Judges. I will. Yeah, there's the Discord link if you want to grab that. And also, if you're watching this post-production, like I said, make sure to get into the comment section after the stream's done as well. Washington or Bengals fan. I'd like to see what you guys think for tomorrow. Ashawn Morris says, Alex Smith, 33 for 42, 379, and 2 touchdowns. Antonio Gibson, 16 rushes, 93 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 catches, 48 yards. Terry McLean, 8 catches, 97 yards. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to be honest. I just think the fairy tale is over. Alex Smith, a unbelievable story. The fact he is even on a field, the fact that he beat out your guys' draft pick and the other guy and was like, he was like QB 3 or 4 to begin the season, and now he's starting over all these other guys is just incredible. So no disrespect to him at all. Totally respect him for his overcoming that adversity of that injury, coming back and playing the way he is. I just think that was such a fairy tale game last week. His first start in over 2 years. I just don't see it carrying into this week. But once again, it very well could have a very effective game just because the Bengals secondary has been so lackluster. The Bengals secondary were filled with injuries so far in 2020, and guys that are normally cornerback 4, 5, and 6 are cornerbacks 2, 3, and 4 for the Bengals. So it's not that we're lackluster in talent. It's just we're down so many guys at this point. So we'll have to see. And we really need a big game from William Jackson. I almost want to put I'm going to put a William Jackson good game on there just because he just deserves it, man. He's been working his butt off to get healthy and back on that field. We really need a good game from William Jackson. So I'm going to put him on there and just hope he has a good game tomorrow. He really needs to get an interception, man. Do not forget to check the Discord predictions. I got you. Oh, I got to do the Facebook one too, yeah. I got you. Thanks for the reminder. What does Dwayne Haskins do? He sits on the left side of the bench as his career rots away in Washington. I'll see you, John. Have a good rest of your day, my man. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go through all your guys' score predictions on Facebook. If you haven't already, go follow me on all my socials. I post on all of them. Instagram, DCTV.YouTube, Drew_Collins11 on Twitter, Drew Collins on Facebook, and obviously DCTV on YouTube. I had all you guys on Facebook basically just give me your prediction. I'm in this group chat or this group page on Facebook that has over 10,000 Cincinnati Bengals fans. It's called Houday Nation, so shout out to Houday Nation on Facebook. And each week I comment, what are your predictions for this week matchup? And last week there was over 100 comments, and this week there was over 60. So still a lot of comments. So we'll go through and read all these comments of what you guys had to say. And I'll also go over the Discord comments for my Discord people in here. Shout out to you. So, Rob said 33-21 Bengals. Danny said 34-24 Bengals. Dan said 27-23 Bengals. Bengals 14, Washington 27. Bengals 35, Washington 17, says Jennifer. Chris says 28-24 Bengals. Houday. Timmy says 35-14 Bengals. John Billy says 31-16 Bengals. Michael says 52-20 Bengals. We'll have to see about that. 35-10 Washington. 24-14 Bengals. 31-27 the guys with the stripes. 38-27 Houday. Bengals 27, Redskins 24. 30-17 Washington. 27-14 Bengals. 38-24 Bengals, Laurel Hale. Holly said 22-18, closer than it should be. Jonathan Payat said 27-24 Bengals. Michael said 27-21 Bengals. Adam said 30-15. Jerame says 24-23 Bengals. Ronald said 31-17 Washington. 31-27 Bengals, says Dennis. Paul says 35-21. Troy says 21-14 Washington. Mark says 24-17 Bengals. Phil says Bengals 24-21. Tracy says a big ol' 42-0 Houday. Bad Kid Rookie says 35-17 Bengals. And last but not least, says 28-27 Bengals after a 21-3 lead at half. So shout out to all my Facebook people participating in that. You guys rock. That was awesome to see all the comments. So now we'll go to my Discord if you're not joined that already, and we'll see what everyone had to say in there. What are your guys' thoughts? Put your score predictions in the comment section. If you're live in the stream or post-production, put them in the comment section. We'll get my score prediction here in a second. You can't get it quite yet. We're 45 minutes into the stream, so you guys go get it soon. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It's so much support to me. It literally means the world. It shares the channel, and that's how we're going to get to 2K very, very quick. I'm feeling it. Also, hit that sub button. Join the DCTV family if you like the content you see. And if you can do more than that, if you want to donate to the stream, you can donate as well with the super chat. So always consider donating as well. That's how continuously the stream looks better and better and better. I moved around a couple things in the my setup right here. Don't know if you guys noticed. And we're 1080 quality right now. We were 720 quality. Now we're 1080. So I know I've been telling you guys for about a month and a half, 2 months. I've told you I've been working on that. It's here. So I'm a man of my word. And with the donations and everything, it really helps me. So shout out to all the donations. And everyone leaving a like as well, because likes help a ton too. Anyways, going on to what the Discord said. Kenyon, thank you for joining the Discord. So we got a couple polls going on in the Discord. We said Bengals or Washington. We got 5 votes Bengals, 0 votes Washington. That's a big surprise. Will T. Higgins have over 100 yards on Sunday's game? 8 people think yes, 1 person thinks no, and 1 person thinks it's up for debate. How many rushing yards will Washington have altogether? 1 person thinks 0 to 74. 6 people think 75 to 99. 3 people think 100 to 125. 1 person thinks 125 plus. And these are Bengals fans, mind you, for all my Washington people watching. And last but not least, how many passing touchdowns will Burrow have? There was 1 vote for 0, 2 votes, or 7 votes, or 0 votes for 1, 7 votes for 2 touchdowns, 3 votes for 3 touchdowns, 0 for 4 plus. So shout out to LT for putting those polls together, and everyone who participated in them as well. Those are very fun to see. So if you haven't already, join the Discord, and you'll be able to join that next time. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, let's see what we're saying in the chat. Don't forget to check. Yeah, I gotcha. When you call me, just use the same one I put in Discord to you. I gotcha. Sean Moore says 31-27 Washington. LT says 24-14 Bengals. Nightwolf says 31-27 Bengals. So there you go. I like the sound of all those. I really do. All right. So what we'll move into now is my score prediction. Who Dey Focus Nation. Thanks for joining the stream, my friend. You can always consider joining the DCTV family. Boy, was that corny. Anyways, my score prediction. Yeah. All right, I got the Bengals number. Let me think for Washington. Are you ready, Who Dey Nation? I have a healthy Bengals 24, 3 touchdowns, and 1 field goal. Oh, wait. No, I have 2 touchdowns, and then 17, 20, 24. I have 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals, so possibly a busy day for Randy Bullock. And 17 for Washington, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And 24-17 is my guess. I think the Bengals controllably hold the lead for majority of the game. Washington really never gets lost. It's never a blowout necessarily. But I think that Washington defense, they're so good turning the ball over. I think necessarily they don't turn the ball over, but the Bengals have to settle for at least 3 field goals. That's why even though I have the Bengals getting 24 points, I only have that for being 2 touchdowns and the rest being field goals. So honestly, say what you want, Washington Nation, but I think you only hold us to 2 touchdowns, but we still get 24 points because we're still able to get some field goals. We're able to get into that red zone territory. We're just not always able to capitalize with 6, and that's just being realistic. Now, for Washington, I see you guys getting 2 touchdowns, or maybe 1 touchdown and a handful of field goals, but a 24-17 Who Dey Nation stand up. I'm really excited for the stream tomorrow, guys. I'm so pumped. So, what are your guys' thoughts, and what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts? Michael on Facebook says 35-14. Bengals, ? I'm assuming Bengals. But 35-14 says Michael on Facebook. Like I said, if you're a Washington fan or if you're a Bengals fan and you want to be able to have a chat with thousands of other people, hundreds of other people live, make sure you hit that sub button and that bell button. Because like I said, tomorrow I will be live for the stream with Bengals fans and Washington fans. And last week in the Steelers game, there was over 8,000 total people. So I'm sure there's going to be a good amount of people in the stream tomorrow. So Washington or Bengals fan, make sure you're live in the stream. And it's really just a fun watch party. Even if you can watch the game, so you don't need to hear me talk. It's still fun interacting with all these other people. Your own fans and other fans. It's so relaxing and it's so fun. It's so fun. Like I'll be live for 4 to 5 hours plus, and not a second do I get bored because I'm doing a play-by-play. I'm very hardcore into it. All the people that are been around, how hard I get into that play-by-play. I'm very serious. I'm very into it. But at the same time, I read the comments, and it goes crazy when there's 100 plus, 150, 300 plus people in here at once. It gets so hectic in that comment section. The only thing I ask, if you are new around here tomorrow, just stay respectful. That's literally the only thing I ask. You can say go Washington, go football team, whatever, since you guys don't even have a mascot or whatever. Go football team if that's what you guys want to say. Anyways, not to hate. But my point is saying just be respectful tomorrow. That's all I ask. So. Wait, 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals is 23 points. 7, 14, 17, 20. Oh, yeah. It's not like I'm a freshman at Xavier University or anything. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, I messed up the camera. No, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. I think that's good. Let me move this over for a little bit. There we go. Anyways, yeah. So hold on. I got to change it. No way. For the people that are going to be watching their back, they're like, who is this kid? 7, 14, 17, 20, 23. Okay, 23-17. Thank you. I'm not a freshman at Xavier University or anything. 23-17. So, 23-17. That's funny. That's funny. Dang it, I forgot what all have you talked about. Yeah, Dalton, it's all good. Like I said, you can always go back and watch from the beginning of the stream. After the stream ends, it turns into a video. But we've just talked about literally the entire game so far. And the only thing I'm going to talk about left are a few more points. But other than that, we basically hit on everything already. I'm sorry, Dalton, but I appreciate you tuning into the stream as usual. So make sure I want to see your name in there tomorrow, though. I know you usually show up for the game day streams. Kara Owen says Bengals 31-21. I like that. We should get a setup tour probably after Christmas. I have a few things I think I'm going to be getting for Christmas that have to do with the setup, including lighting, a lot of cool, possibly LED orange and black lights maybe. I'll drop a hit. So definitely, I don't want to do it right now because I'm still in mode, just got the webcam. I'm working on lighting. I might look a little wider than usual. It's because the lighting is bad and I'm trying to fix it. Anyways, there will be a setup. I could do a tour. If you want to see what my tour used to look like, go watch my Joe Burrow unboxing jersey video. It has, I think, around 1,000 views or around that. A couple months ago, I showed my whole setup of what it looked like a few months ago. So go watch my old video of the Joe Burrow jersey unboxing. You'll basically see my setup. My name will be here. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So, with that being said, I'm trying to think on the last things we can hit on before we wrap up. One more time, 33-17 Bengals secure the W against the Washington football team in Washington. Don't forget, there's home field advantage. It's just so hard to count that in 2020 because there's there's zero to little fans. I don't know in Washington if you guys are going to have any fans. I know it'll be limited if you guys do. I don't know if there's any Washington fans that can answer that in the comment section. Let me know. That might play a little bit of a factor, but not like any other of the years in past. Collins, yes, Crosby. I can do a call-in real quick. One more thing. Burrow, 250, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Auden Tate, a receiving touchdown. 100 yards and a touchdown for, I didn't even write a name, for Tyler Boyd. And O-line will allow 3 or less sacks, which is sad to say, but I think that would be a good day for this pretty good Washington front seven. D-line, I think the Bengals D-line could get at least 2 sacks. At least not, possibly some QB hits. Hopefully we can at least get to the quarterback and get some hits on Alex Smith. It's, I don't want to say that because the guy's already been through so much. I don't want to see him hurt. But I want to see us get some pressure. I think a Logan Wilson turnover. I think William Jackson III will have a good game finally. He's had some decent games. He's been pretty well. But we need to see more out of him, and maybe this could be the game where he steps up. And I think Von Bell will have a big game as well. And you can always throw Jesse Bates in there. But at this point, you just know he's just going to be a man among boys. It's just Jesse Bates. He is that guy. Yeah, I will do call-ins real quick. Let me go grab my charger from my laptop, guys. And once I get back, we will do call-ins if anyone wants to call in. Crosby will be up first, so give me 1 second, Crosby, and I'll let you call in. Let me go grab my charger from my laptop real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, guys. Let's get back into it. All right. So, we're going to have Crosby call in real quick. If there's anybody else that wants to, all you got to do is join the Discord and let me know, and we can make it happen. All right. So, Crosby, are you ready? About to give you a call. All right. Oh. What's up, man?
What's up?
All right, man. You're good to go. Talk about whatever you want. You're good to go.
Alright, so I'm going to start it off with offense. I'm going to go with Burrow for his passing game. I think he's going to be able to get 300-plus passing yards.
Okay.
And he's going to get 3-plus passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns, like, total.
Yeah, so just total touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also for the receivers, I think Higgins will get 75-plus yards and a TD. Same with Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
And then A.J. Green, I think we should utilize A.J. Green and Auden Tate a lot in this game. So I think that both of them combined will have a game of like 40-plus yards, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. At this point, like, I want to talk about A.J. Green, but at this point, it's almost disappointing every week when I say, oh, it's his time, he's finally back, and he does little to nothing. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think our offense, like what you said, I think that we will not allow a turnover.
Okay.
And I also think our O-line only allows 1 sack the whole entire game. I know that they have a great 7 front, but I just think that we'll be able to hold them back.
Yeah, it'd be really impressive, and I think most Bengals fans would probably be satisfied with that.
Yeah. Moving on to running back, which is Giovanni Bernard and Samaj Pirine. I think that they will, like, both of them combined, will get a total of 75-plus yards, like, catching, like, receiving and rushing.
Okay.
So that's
Nice.
what I think about offense. And then for my defense, I think that we will be able to get 2 or more sacks in this game. Just because, like, I haven't heard anyone, like, special about their offensive line.
Yeah. And I know they lost a couple guys these past few years, a lot of veterans, so we'll have to see. But, you know, it's like I said, you know, talent-wise, there's nothing on this team compared to what we have to face in the division we're in, where I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be a struggle this week. Like, it's what we have to play in our division. When we go play teams outside the division, I'm like, okay, I'm not really worried about this.
Yeah.
So, do you have a score prediction?
My score prediction is Bengals over Washington, 31-17.
Okay, so you got a 30 bomb. I like it.
Yep. And then I also think Bates or Von Bell will also get a turnover.
Okay, yeah. At this point, every week I'm almost like one of the safeties will get a turnover.
Yeah.
Either Jesse Bates or Von Bell, or I'm so cocky. I'm like, okay, I think they both will get one just because we're so spoiled with how good our safeties are.
That we have like one of the best safeties, like two safeties. They're just amazing. Like, not a lot of teams have good safeties.
At least both. You know, most teams, they'll have a good free safety, then a good strong safety. But I called it in the beginning of the year, before this year even started, when we brought Von Bell in. I'm pretty sure I made a video on it. I was like, the Cincinnati Bengals in 2020 and the next 3 to 5 years, if not longer, will have one of the best, if not the best, safety duos in the NFL. And believe it or not, I also made a video of why not to sleep on Jesse Bates in 2020. I made that video months ago before the season even started, and who was right? I was right. Jesse Bates is the number 1 ranked Pro Football Focus safety in 11 weeks of the NFL. So even if he ends the year and he's still not, 11 weeks through the NFL, he was the best safety. So it's like, dude, I'm telling you, I told you before the season, like, our safeties, and they make up so much slack for the lack of respect we've really had for our corners. Our corners, nobody has respect for them. Everyone says, oh, you play the Bengals, you're going to throw for 300 yards. And it's like our safeties have to make up for so much of that slack. It's so slept on. Like, they're so unappreciated. But I appreciate them.
I can't wait for next year, though, with Trey Waynes coming back and, like, a lot of our cornerbacks. And let's hope we can maybe pick up some defensive players in the next draft. And,
you know, we get Trey Waynes back. We'll have to see if Alexander walks because we only signed him to a 1-year deal. Let's see what happens with William Jackson if we bring him back. So I think I think our corners might look very different next year. I think if one of those guys walk or even if they stay, we still have to maybe go pick somebody else or look towards the draft. You know, something has to happen in that secondary because, you know, obviously it hasn't worked this year.
Yeah.
So, any last player predictions or anything crazy you think that might happen before we wrap it up?
I don't got really anything to say.
Yeah, so
I just hope the Bengals win.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, going back all these weeks, I've made some, steeper predictions. Like, I think the Bengals can upset, each week I almost say that. But this week, it's like, this is really a team where the Bengals are very capable of getting a W.
yeah.
We match up well against this team, so.
Like, we always, fall to teams. Like, we do perfect the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. We always fall short.
Yeah, and hopefully this week, with a little bit better coaching and everything, hopefully, we look a little bit better. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and we need good play calling a lot better than last week, I'll tell you.
I agree. So we'll have to see how that plans out. I appreciate you calling to the stream as always, man, and hopefully you'll be in the stream tomorrow.
I will.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Hooday.
See ya. Hooday.
So there was Krause. Thank you for joining the stream, my man, and giving up what you're saying. So appreciate you. What jersey am I wearing tomorrow? I'm wearing this beautiful bad boy. This will be the jersey I'll be rocking in tomorrow's stream. So make sure you're rocking something tomorrow. Kenyon, I'm about to wrap this one up, so I probably won't be able to do one tonight. But for future reference, if you want to join on the stream, literally all you have to do is on the Discord, just send me your phone number. I don't care if you have a Samsung or an Apple. Just send me your phone number. And whenever we were to go in, I would just call that number. So for future reference, if you want to send me it, I'm definitely down. So with all that being said, I appreciate every single one of you for joining today's stream, hitting that like button, join the DCT family, etc. I am beyond excited for this matchup tomorrow. I'm sure you are as well if you're Bengals or Washington fan, man. I'm so excited. I don't know why. It's just been a long... Every time I feel like the Bengals can get a big W. That night before, man, I'm just like... I'm thinking in my head. I'm just thinking of the games earlier in the year and everything adding up to the moment. And I feel like that's just something as a Cincinnati sports fans we get way too worked up over. But that's just sports, man. That's just what the love of the game, love of sports do for you. So, yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow. Make sure you're here tomorrow at noon Eastern time, and I will be live for the entire stream. So even if you can't make it right away, whenever we are, if you just pop in tomorrow, hey, what's up, man, in the group chat, hooday, whatever you say, I really appreciate it, guys. I hope we have a lot of people in there. Dude, I do too. I don't know. It always depends on the opposing team. How big the fan base is, how big of the fan base lives out of the city. Pittsburgh, they have a colossal fan base. So it was a big part. It played a big part of why we had over 8,000 people in there yesterday. But yeah, I'm super excited. And I'm sure it'll be a good one. It not always matters about the size. It matters about the people in there. So, and we have some good people in the DCTV family and Houday Nation. So I'm excited as always. So there's all my preview and predictions. After the video rolls out, make sure to get active in that comment section. I want to see what you guys have to say. It's been true. It's your boy Drew, DCTV, Houday baby. Have a great rest of your night and get